Essentially, we're a craft beer retail / tasting room. We organize everything by style and availability, so we have kind of our seasonal and specialty stuff up front, and then we have our year-round stuff on another wall. Anything in the store you can get in singles, so people really appreciate being able to mix and match any beer in the entire store. They never have to kind of commit to a 6-pack or a 4-pack of anything.
Everything's organized by style and then also by availability, so it's really easy to find something you're looking for. It's kind of like when you're in the mood for, pizza. You don't want to be flipping through Italian or Chinese or anything. You just want to look at pizza. So the same thing would happen, and you basically have to hunt and peck throughout the whole store because everything's generally organized by brand. That's where the concept developed. Froggies in Highwood, they said they wanted in, and they had the space available, so I just decided instead of doing it in Chicago with a different ownership group, we would do it in Highwood where it was needed more, and they already had the facility here so we could get it going faster.
And then along with that, we do tastings every day, so 2-ounce pours of anywhere between 6 during the week, sometimes 8 or 9 on the weekends. We kind of pick a consistent style. We'll do IPA sometimes, or we'll do all of one brewery. Every day we taste out 6 to 8 different beers. So we should be untapped masters, but we just don't have the time to untap everything. We're tasting 6 to 8 different beers every day. So our friends of the store come in and they love being able to try a lot of different breweries without having to buy the entire bottle. And it also expands their palates exponentially because they're trying 6 to 8 different beers in a sitting. And some people come in 3 times a week, 4 times a week. We really made some really great friends of the store. I think first and foremost, we're kind of like a communal craft beer lovers space, and then retail and tasting room.
It's funny because beer is one of those LCD, lowest common denominators. I think it speaks to people of all ages, all sexes, all orientations, all religions, all income levels. So when we are packed for our tastings, generally on Fridays and Saturdays and Thursdays too, it's amazing the group of people you find mingling and talking amongst each other, from the whitest of the white collar to the bluest of the blue collar. They seem to be more aware of the community around them and friendlier and so on and so forth. That could be the alcohol too, so. Well, it really isn't sudden per se. It's more of a renaissance. Before the Prohibition squashed out all the breweries and gave way to the rise of macro craft, like the Miller Lights and the Buds of the world, there used to be thousands of breweries already. It just took us this long to recover from the damage that the Prohibition did. So it's more of a renaissance than it is a movement.
There's a lot more flavor and higher quality ingredients in craft beer versus old standbys, so to speak. The beer that you took out of your dad's fridge growing up kind of thing. And you're drinking from brewers that are in your backyard, which people really appreciate. I think it goes back to the whole farm to table movement. It's all local and it's such a communal movement, and that's kind of what drew me to it in the first place.
We're working to collaborate and produce a beer called Whiskey Junction in honor of Highwood. That's what it used to be called historically by the train conductors, back when train conductors would kind of, give you a little bit of a tour of the stations they were rolling through. Highwood has traditionally been and historically been a pretty wet town, very friendly to alcohol and liquor. It was one of the only areas where you could have a bar on the North Shore for a long time. So for the Highwood Craft Beer Fest this year, the second annual, we figured, hey, let's brew a barrel-aged beer, which is a beer that you put in a spirit barrel because the town used to be called Whiskey Junction. So let's do, and we have to do it with a local brewery. Since Highwood didn't have one, we went with the next closest one, Zoom Beer out of Waukegan. And I think this is the beginning of more collaborative projects to commemorate special events for sure. It'll debut August 2nd at the Highwood Craft Beer Fest.